What is up, YouTube? James Baek here, and welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Baek Battles. Today we're using a brand new team using the Pokemon Hawlucha, Tapu Lele, Blastoise, Amoonguss, Landis variant, and Marowak. So, if people weren't around for when I did Doubles Battle Spot back in regular Sun and Moon, basically there's this QR code team with Lele, Drifblim, Blastoise, Amoonguss, Landis variant, and Tapu Koko, and it was a very fun team. I only played one episode with it, but it was really fun. So I decided to try my own twist. I decided to try Hawlucha instead, just because the opposing rain matchup, can be very terrifying for this team to handle. So I thought, Hawlucha could help against the Ludicolo, and I've been playing around with it a little bit on Battle Spot. Some people might have faced me before I've recorded this, so it might have been like, yeah. But basically, I'm not sure what to think about this team, to be honest. Like, I lost a bunch with it. I won a bunch with it. It's kind of strange. I think it's like really matchup dependent, and how well like Blastoise can sweep potentially. Like this one, oh man, I don't like facing this. I do not like facing this. So we got a Mawile, Gothitelle, Politoed, the Ludicolo, Entei, and Tapu Bulu. Now, this is scary. This is really scary just because, yeah, rain. I actually, like, even though I had Hawlucha to help against the rain mode, like, if it goes down early, it doesn't exactly help against the rain mode anymore. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what do I want to do exactly? I think Blastoise Amoonguss is a pretty solid lead because it covers the Tapu Lele combined with, not Tapu Lele, it covers the rain mode as well as maybe Mawile and Gothitelle. So I think I want to go with that lead. I could go, because the reason I don't want to go Hawlucha Tapu Lele is because if my opponent leads Gothitelle Mawile, I'm already in a lot of trouble. So I think I'll have them in the back just for safety. But yeah, this is going to be a really, really scary team to face. It really is going to be scary because I don't exactly know what's going to be coming out here from my opponent. But hopefully, we're going to be able to pull through. Now, this team, basically, if you don't know, it's focused on Mega Blastoise. It's Mega Blastoise sweep. We have ways to set up Blastoise. However, yeah, if Blastoise gets damaged, it doesn't really do as much. So keeping Blastoise as healthy as possible is important, and that's why Amoonguss and having Tailwind pressure is really helpful here. And Tapu Lele with the Psychic Terrain prevents priority attacks to weaken the power of Water Spout. So we'll see how this team goes. I not really having high expectations after the first few battles I did with this team, but we'll see. My opponent does lead Gothitelle Mawile, which is fantastic here because of the fact that Mawile can't pick up the knockout on Amoonguss. Maybe a double target can. And my opponent can't really set up Trick Room. Water Spout can come out pretty freely, and it hits pretty much anything on my opponent's team for a lot of damage right here. So I'll go for a Water Spout here, and I'll just Rage Powder whatever comes out. I need damage on the Mawile, that's for sure. Like, getting damage on the Mawile is really important. I can't really protect with anything. I could protect Spore potentially, but what if my opponent goes for like Psyshock Iron Head into that Amoonguss slot, which I'm not sure. Maybe this opponent has Fire Fang potentially. No Ludicolo switching in, which is really good because that was a potential option my opponent had. Maybe didn't bring the Ludicolo in the back, but we're gonna have my Blastoise come out here. And Mawile is also going to Mega Evolve. I wonder if this Gothitelle might carry Taunt as well. Usually the moveset we see is like Trick Room, Psychic slash Psyshock, Protect, and then maybe a filler move. Like Helping Hand, Tickle, Heal Pulse. So I get the Rage Powder off, no Protects. Water Spout coming out, a lot of damage coming out onto my opponent's side of the field. Massive amount of damage. Play Rough is going to come out into the Amoonguss slot. Nice. That did a lot of damage though, and Taunt is going to come out into the Amoonguss slot as well. So basically what happened there is, I got a lot of damage off, which is really nice. However, yeah, having Amoonguss taunted isn't exactly ideal here. Water Spout can come out pretty freely. It would knock out the Mawile, even if the Mawile goes for like Sucker Punch. And Sludge Bomb is pretty safe. I kind of want to go for Giga Drain, to be honest. I really do want to go for Giga Drain into the Gothitelle, just because I feel like I would get a bit of health back, but more damage seems more necessary right now, especially since Amoonguss is going to go down to an Iron Head, or maybe a Psyshock at this rate. I don't think it has any relevant calcs right now. And Small is just going to protect, which is fine. As I'm pretty sure my opponent's just going to set up Trick Room right here. So I'm going to be able to get a Water Spout off. This is going to do a massive amount of damage to my opponent's side of the field. Really nice damage. As the berry is going to activate. I'm pretty sure it's a 50% berry from the Gothitelle. Yep. As Weaky Berry. And Psychic's just going to come out. So I do have the Payapa Berry, which is going to help me. So I'm going to be able to live the Psychic really easily, actually. Special Defense Fall does kind of hurt. Doesn't really matter too much. Because I do get the Sludge Bomb into Gothitelle. And now both of my opponent's Pokemon are in range of Water Spout. Unless the Mawile goes for Sucker Punch right here. So I'll go for the Water Spout again. And I'll just Giga Drain. And I'll just Sludge Bomb again. Kind of want to Sludge Bomb the Mawile slot in case Ludicolo decides to come out. But I'm pretty sure what my opponent's just going to do. Yeah, Sucker Punch. So this is going to hurt. Not doing... It does still a good amount. But Water Spout should still be able to pick up a knockout on Mawile at least. Yep. And the Gothitelle is already severely weakened. So if my opponent does have the Rainbow in the back, I feel like I'm already in a solid position. As the Psychic going to come out into the Amoonguss slot. Pick up that knockout into Amoonguss. And now... Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I still have Hawlucha, which is nice. Hawlucha can come out right now. And, yeah, Hawlucha's debut. That's amazing. Let's see if it's a Ludicolo in the back potentially for my opponent. Maybe my opponent brings out Politoed. Maybe it's Tapu Bulu in the back. Maybe my opponent didn't opt for the Rain mode. But we'll see here. I'm really hoping, if it's Tapu Bulu, Entei could be a bit interesting. It is Entei in the back, so Tapu Bulu or Ludicolo in the back. So I do bring out my Hawlucha. Hawlucha should be faster than the Entei. Well, actually, no. It depends on speeds. It really depends on speeds. I don't know exactly what's going to go on here. But I do have Scald. That can go on to the Entei. And I do have Rain Dance. I also have Acrobatics, which could just knock out the Gothitelle at this range. Like, the problem is, like, Gothitelle, again, gets Helping Hand. It can go for an attack here that can do massive amounts of damage. I think Scald into Entei and Acrobatics is safe here. I just wanted to Rain Dance because Rain Dance combined with Water Spout might have been able to pick up the knockout onto Entei as well as knock out the Gothitelle if it decides not to protect here. But the problem with that play... Oh, his Gothitelle does protect. Okay. Let's see what the Entei does and if it's faster than my Hawlucha. Z-move Entei. Okay. Brachioum. So it's Stone Edge Entei. Okay. So this Entei actually carries Continental Crush. And that's going to target down my Blastoise, isn't it? Yep. And that should be able to pick up the knockout onto Blastoise. However, still don't think it's too bad. I get my Tapu Lele in. I can Acrobatics my opponent's Gothitelle the following turn. But yeah, Continental Crush, that's really interesting. Tapu Lele is going to come out. I wonder my opponent... Like, I feel like my opponent might have Tapu Bulu in the back. I really do feel like my opponent might have Tapu Bulu in the back. A play you can make here is just switch out your Entei into Tapu Bulu so your Entei takes less psychic damage later on and sack Gothitelle right here. But you could also just Sacred Fire and then get a free switch into Tapu Bulu the following turn. I think I'm just going to Psychic the Entei and Acrobatics the Gothitelle slot. Because Entei shouldn't be able to pick up a knockout here unless maybe... I don't think Iron Head picks up the knockout. Sacred Fire shouldn't, even after a Life Orb recoil. I am kind of worried about Sacred Fire into Burn, especially on either Lele or Hawlucha, because both of those targets would be pretty bad. So we'll see what my opponent opts to do here. As I do get the Acrobatics off, we'll be able to knock out the Gothitelle. Of course, I could have targeted down just the Entei, but I don't want Trick Room going up. Let's see. Snarl is just going to come out. Tapu Lele avoids the attack. That's a huge avoid. That's absolutely a huge avoid because now Tapu Lele is going to get a full power Psychic, Life Orb into Rain, and since your Z-move, I don't think you're living. Yeah, very unfortunate, especially since I think Snarl might have been able to live it. Of course, it might have been Acrobatics range, but it all comes down to what's the last Pokemon in the back. We'll see here. It might be Politoed, might be Ludicolo. It is Politoed, okay. So maybe my opponent was opting for a Parasong endgame? Yeah, I'm pretty sure my opponent was opting for a Parasong endgame. Unfortunate for my opponent, as I will just go for a Psychic here. And I'll go for the Acrobatics, and I should be able to pick up a knockout onto the Politoed here. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure like my opponent would have actually been able to stall it out if like hitting a star, because I don't think acrobatics plus psychic knocks out Politoed in general. But yeah, unfortunate for my opponent. I mean, I could have still won that depending on how powerful my attacks are. Like how much damage does it do to the Politoed at -1 with psychic and but life orb in terrain. I still think it would have done a good amount, and I definitely still had potential to win the match. But yeah, that just basically prevented my opponent from ever having a shot of winning, unless maybe acrobatics plus psychic didn't KO for some reason, and then Perish Song and then triple protect. But yeah, that's very unlikely. But we are able to take the first one. Not exactly the best of how I played, especially since I could have played the second to last turn better, especially if I tailwind it up. But I was always worried about like Gothitelle maybe going for a last ditch trick room, as we got our Vince right here with the team of Aerodactyl, Kartana, the Landers variant, Blacephalon. That's right, it's Blacephalon, Magnezone, and Tapu Fini. Okay, I'm just making sure my mic is on because I thought it is, but yeah, okay, it is. Okay, so let's see. I could probably sweep with Tailwind, which is a nice idea. I am kind of worried though. Tapu Fini is a really big threat to my team in general. Kartana is also a really annoying Pokemon to deal with. There's just like a lot of things that my team doesn't exactly like facing against this team. Tailwind is nice. Yeah, Tailwind is really nice here. I'll go Hawlucha, Tapu Lele. I don't know, this is going to be a hard one. Depends on, like, Aerodactyl seems to be the only potential Mega Evolution in my opponent's team, which, you know, might be something of worth, but yeah. Blastoise. I think I need a Landis variant more than a Mungus, just because I need better ways to hit the Kartana just in case. I need a way to hit Magnezone. And, you know, Tectonic Rage can still do a lot to Fini. So, this is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one. I don't like... Yeah, because facing things that are faster than Mega Blastoise are definitely a problem, especially if they have their own speed control and Tailwind. This one's going to be a tough one, but we'll see. Can Mega Blastoise pull it through? We'll see. Kartana is definitely going to be a scary Pokemon to deal with, though. Hawlucha plus the Tapu Lele going to lead the field as the Aerodactyl and Landis variant on my opponent's side. So, we'll see if it's Scarf on the Landis right here. It's not Scarf. Okay, so unless it's AV, Psychic might be able to knock out the Landis right here, which would be, you know, pretty ideal since I don't have to take much damage other than Aerodactyl with maybe Rock Slide. If it's Mega, maybe it carries, like, you know, some kind of move that can help it. Ice Fang, Thunder Fang, Iron Head. Don't make me imagine. That's not really commonly run. I can Tailwind here and Psychic, and if my opponent decides to go for a Tailwind, I can Encore my opponent into Tailwind afterwards if I do knock out the Landers and Hawlucha survives the turn. So Landers is going to switch out. Did my opponent have a Psychic switch in? Tapu Fini is going to come out, which is fine. I need damage on the Tapu Fini, so I'll definitely take this. And if my opponent goes for Tailwind, that's probably the best potential turn right there. So, Aerodactyl, it is the Mega Aerodactyl, so we're going to see a Mega Aerodactyl coming out. I should build a team around that. I should. I don't know what I would run on it, though. Tailwind's going to be set up right here, and I don't mind Landers being kept in the back. We'll see what the Aerodactyl decides to opt for. It is Tailwind of his own, so I do have Encore potential, and Psychic into Moonblast might be able to knock out the Fini depending on how bulky it is. So Psychic going to come out from my Tapu Lele. Ooh, Moonblast might, especially since I got the special defense fall. But I'm pretty sure Moonblast might have just picked up the... actually, no, it'd be close. So I'm just going to Encore the Aerodactyl and Moonblast the Tapu Fini slot. Not really much stopping me right here. There really isn't. Like, unless Aerodactyl switches out and Tapu Fini protects, that's a really solid play from my opponent. And, yeah. But I'm not sure my opponent's expecting Encore on the Hawlucha. Like, Hawlucha gets a lot of support moves, actually. Sky Drop, for instance. Encore, Taunt. Obviously, Tailwind. He gets a few more, obviously, like the Rain Dance. I'm not sure if it gets Sunny Day. I think it does. But we'll see what my opponent opts to do here. As Fini's going to protect, that's fine. That is fine. As I am going to Encore this Aerodactyl into Tailwind here. Nice. And Tailwind is going to be tried to set up again, but fails, and Moonblast into Tapu Fini slot. So going for the Encore, yeah, that's fine. Because now I can just Encore the Tapu Fini slot and Moonblast the Aerodactyl It does not matter to me because I can, even if Feeny switches out, Aerodactyl is either going to Tailwind, so it's vulnerable to my Moonblast, or it's just going to be taken down. And once I get rid of Aerodactyl, I could have taunted the Aerodactyl, I guess. Yeah, taunting the Aerodactyl might have been fine too. But right here, I'm putting on a lot of pressure for my opponent as Aerodactyl is going to switch out. Maybe it's a double switch out as Blacephalon's going to come in. So Moonblast and Acrobatics, even at -2, yeah, because my opponent's definitely switching out here, might be able to KO the Blacephalon. Because Hawlucha is actually very offensive. It does a lot of damage. I was actually really surprised about how much Hawlucha's been doing, like, in general, in offensive terms. Encore going to fail into the Landers. I could have went for Acrobatics, but make the safe play. As Moonblast going to go out into Blacephalon and do 50%, which is really nice here. As now I get to go for an Acrobatics here into Blacephalon. And I can go for a Psychic. I should outspeed Blacephalon. Actually, I should have Moonblasted the Landers. Why did I Psychic? Moonblast literally does the same thing with a bit more damage and a special attack drop, and Feeny could potentially go for its berry right here. But right here, it's looking like I can set up Tailwind later in the game again, which would be really nice here. We'll see what my opponent decides to opt for, though. However, I'm going to be able to get a lot of damage off this turn and potentially pick up a knockout. Landorus, I don't think has a move that can knock out Hawlucha unless maybe it's Fly MZ or maybe Continental Crush, but we'll see. The Acrobatic's going to come out into Blacephalon, and it does pick up the knockout. So Hawlucha, we got it. Psychic in the Landis. If Moonblast just picked up the KO, I'm going to be really upset at myself. Yeah, I think it would have still lived at like 1 HP, but Rock Slide going to come out. Hawlucha is neutral to this, so going to be able to take it. Tapu Lele not exactly taking that well. Hawlucha also taking it with a crit. As Tailwind's going to peter out. Aerodactyl can come in, but now like the trap is set. Like here's like the details right here. So Aerodactyl comes in, right? It can choose either to knock out both of my Pokemon right here, which I get a free switch into Blastoise, or what could happen is my opponent goes for Tailwind, but then I can Encore and knock out the Elanders. So yeah, like no matter what, you're probably losing something right here. And you know what? There's no reason for me to sack Lele right now. I'll just protect. As Landers is going to switch out, which is fine. I'm going to go into Feeny. And I wonder the Aerodactyl is just going to go for a Tailwind of its own here. We'll see here. As I am going to Tailwind with my Hawlucha. And let's see. Are you going to go for Tailwind of your own? No, just Rock Slide. Yep. Which I agree with because I don't think you can risk getting Encore there. Hopefully it knocks out Hawlucha. But Hawlucha is bulky, so it survives. It's bulky, but I'll just Encore the Aerodactyl. Or I could Rain Dance. Rain Dance Water Spout would be nice, but Encore the Aerodactyl and just Moonblast the Tapu Fini. Yeah, just going for the safe plays because I want to abuse the Tailwind turns as much as possible. And if I Encore the Aerodactyl, he's either forced to sack Aerodactyl or sack Landers, as Tapu Fini is going to protect. Which, you know, I could have got the chip damage onto the Aerodactyl. I could have set up the Water Spout. I think Water Spouting might have been fine. But Encore is just such a safe play because now I can Water Spout plus Rock Slide freely here. As Moonblast is going to go in the Tapu Fini slot. Rock Slide's going to come out. Tapu Lele actually avoids, which is really unfortunate for my opponent. Because now I get to go into Blastoise. And Blastoise just clicks Water Spout and I get to Moonblast. So very unfortunate. But again, I didn't really mind that. Because I would have got a free switch into Landers anyway. So I'll go into Blastoise here. And just click Water Spout. I get my KO no matter what. And I potentially get a double knockout right here. So, Blastoise, do your thing. Mega Evolve and Water Spout. And we're going to Moonblast this Tapu Fini. And yeah, there's not really much my opponent can do. I think you need to hope for like a double protect with Tapu Fini. And sack your Aerodactyl. But even at that point, like I still have one more turn of Tailwind after this. So I could just double up the Fini afterwards. Or just keep clicking Water Spout. There's no reason not to. My opponents look like gonna sack the Aerodactyl right here. So Blastoise gonna appear and Mega Evolve. And Moonblast gonna come out into Tapu Lele. Let's see if it actually picked up the knockout originally. It might be a roll. Yeah, it might have been a roll. But we get special attack drop, which is also fortunate. And Berry? Yep. Okay. So that's fine. It's also looking really good for my Blastoise in general as well. Water Spout going to be coming out into the Aerodactyl and the Tapu Fini. And that Tapu Fini is really severely weakened here. As we're probably going to see, I don't know, Muddy Water, maybe Moonblast and the Blastoise. It's going to be Calm Mind, but you know, already super weakened. I don't feel like it's gonna help, like, at all. Trying to think. I mean, Tapu Lele is faster than the Landers. I go for a Water Spout, Moonblast, and a Feeny. It's very safe because the only way this Landers can, yeah, it can't survive it anymore. It definitely can't survive it. So now I get to go for a Water Spout and a Moonblast into the Tapu Fini slot, and that's going to be game. If Landers protects, that's fine because Tapu Lele can still outspeed and pick up a knockout anyway. And yeah, my own Landers is looking to sweep in the back anyway, as the match is going to be forfeited, and we're going to take our second win. So we got a little lucky there, but I'm not sure. I don't think it really mattered because, again, I would have been able to get Landers. Landers could have just, you know, knocked out the Feeny potentially, or I could have just picked up a double knock out there because I could Tectonic Rage Water Spout. And what that allows me to do is I either knock out the Feeny potentially, weaken it, or basically my opponent's forced to switch into Landers there and gives me 2 Pokemon. So no matter what there, I felt like I was in the driver's seat no matter what. Of course, missing Rock Slides is unfortunate, but, you know, nothing I can do too. But I still think I could have won the game even without the Rock Slide misses. So, nice. Going to pick up 2 wins with the Hawlucha team, so it's going to go positive in this episode. Arya from the Netherlands, 1725 rating, will be our next opponent. Oh, I faced this person like 2 times. I don't remember if it was on camera or not. I honestly can't remember. But it's Mawile, Tapu Koko, Mimikyu, Porygon 2, the Persian, and the Snorlax. So, I remember the Mimikyu has Destiny Bond. No, wait. Porygon 2 is Psych Up. Tapu Koko's dual screens. Right. I wish I had Parasong. Parasong would actually be really helpful here. So, Moa's also really annoying to deal with. I mean, I do have Encore, which is helpful, but it doesn't really help in this situation. Really doesn't. What do I do here? I think I'm gonna go Tapu Lele. Blastoise, just offensive lead. Might be able to push through. I have a Moongus and Marok in the back. I don't really like this because I remember this is Psych Up return. I don't have good ways to handle. Well, I don't have good ways to handle Snorlax in general, and I don't really have a good way to handle. I should put Parasong on this Marok. Substitute hasn't really been doing much. I mean, it has done work. I'm used to Substitute Marok, and it's done a lot of work for me in the past, as well as like a few games that I played with this team before. But we'll see here. As Tapu Lele, Blastoise is gonna lead. Mimikyu Persian's gonna come out. Let's see what my opponent's gonna opt for here. Fake Out's no longer an option. Could be a ghost move for sure. Could be a ghost move. I think Moonblast into Persian, pick up the knockout. I could taunt the Mimikyu, which is also not a bad option. This is really scary. Parting Shot's really just such a scary option right here. As I think I'm just gonna go in a Moongus right here. And Water Spout. Yeah, I'm just gonna Water Spout because I don't want to risk my Tapu Lele turn 1 when I really don't have to. And yeah, I'd rather go in a Moongus right here because 1, it covers the Snorlax in the future. 2, I can Rage Powder the Psych Up, which is actually really good now that I'm thinking about it. Rage Powdering the Psych Up would be really nice here. But luckily, I don't know what my opponent's brought in the back. Maybe Porygon 2 plus the Snorlax, which would be nice. Parting Shot's going to come out into the Blastoise slot, which is fine. Let's see what's coming out. Let's see what's coming out. Are you going to have the Tapu Koko? Okay. So I get a Water Spout off, which is okay here. Which is going to break the skies and do a good amount to the Tapu Koko, even at -1. So, Ghost move or Z move? It is Ghost move. So I'm guessing this is into Tapu Lele. I would assume that. So let's see what my opponent's going to opt for. It is going to be the Never Ending Nightmare. And it should be targeting down, I would imagine, my Tapu Lele. Because that thing, yep, is a threat. So, especially with Taunt. So, Never Ending Nightmare into the Moongus isn't really going to be doing too much. Yeah, like a Moongus 8. Like, actually 8. As we are going to get a Water Spout off into the Tapu Koko, as well as the Mimikyu's Disguise. So, that's nice. I think this Mimikyu also had carry Taunt, so that's also potentially scary. As I will just go for a It's taunt, that is kind of scary. I could just Sludge Bomb then. And Water Spout. But then again, like if I do pick up the knockout, Tapu Koko Snorlax could come out, which, you know, is already scary. There are a few things that could happen. I think I am going to Sludge Bomb Water Spout because I do expect Taunt here first, if anything. However, this isn't really looking too good as Nature's Man is actually going to come out first. Okay. Into Amoonguss, so maybe trying to get rid of this Amoonguss first. I don't really mind that. A Shadow Claw is going to come out, which I think should pick up the knockout. Yeah. So I do lose my Amoonguss right there. I am able to get a powerful Water Spout off into the Tapu Koko as well as the Mimikyu. And looks like it's a roll on Tapu Koko, so it's actually a 2 KO there. So Sludge Bomb was actually not the play there. Maybe I could have switched out, but again, no matter what I couldn't protect. I couldn't because I don't have protect, and no matter what I switched out, it would have gone down. So no matter what, yeah, I don't think it would have been optimal. So I get Tapu Lele in here, which can taunt, and Snorlax has to be the last Pokemon. So this is actually looking pretty good now. Like, this is looking pretty good. My opponent's not really going to be able to get to Trick Room up, it looks like. As Persian's going to come out, Tapu Lele is going to come out. Psychic Terrain is staying on the field now. I don't know if he would Parting Shot or if he would just attack here. I think I'm just gonna Moonblast the... Like, I'm trying to think, how is this gonna work? Because if I like, Parting Shot could be a play here into Blastoise, switch out hard into the Snorlax. I really want to get rid of the Persian. But I also want to get rid of Mimikyu, potentially. I don't know if it's Ghostium. I'm going to taunt the Persian slot, and I'm just going to Water Spout. Yeah. I think that's a fine play here. Although I'm not sure how much Shadow Claw does. I do want to see what my speed tier is, if I'm faster than Mimikyu or not. We're going to see the Parting Shot in a Lele, actually. Okay. Which is okay. Definitely. As we're going to see the switch out. Let's see the the Snorlax coming out. And then we'll see what the Mimikyu does. I'm worried about Destiny Bomb, which is why I didn't want to target down the Mimikyu. Because if it went for Destiny Bomb first, could have been problems. So, Snorlax is going to come out here. As Destiny Bomb is going to activate. So, I don't mind trading my Blastoise right here. Because Marowak is probably going to be doing more damage, to be honest. So, Taunt into Snorlax. Can't recycle the berry anymore. And I will be able to get a Water Spout off. This is going to be a powerful Water Spout. Going to go out in a Mimikyu. Should pick up the knockout here. Yep. And I crit. I don't think that matters. As, you know, Mimikyu is going to take Blastoise down. But now I feel like I'm in a better position. Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm in a better position. Maybe scalding the Snorlax into Water Spout might have been better. Because I might have just put in... yeah, I think it might have been better. But we'll see here. Persian's going to come out. As Marowak is also going to come out. Not sure if Foul Play plus Return knocks out my Tapu Lele. I feel like it might. Persians don't usually carry Protect. I feel like I'll just Protect here. Yeah, I'll feel like I just Protect here. Because the Persians force a Parting Shot. Maybe Parting Shot my Marowak. Because most Snorlaxes on these kinds of teams don't actually run high horsepower. So if this one doesn't run high horsepower, then that means it can't touch my Marowak. And I could potentially win the game off that. So we'll see. Foul Play plus Return also might knock out my Tapu Lele, which is also scary. But we'll see here. I think he might just Parting Shot or maybe just Foul Play first. So we'll see here. Gonna be the Parting Shot and it is into Tapu Lele. Does that mean you live the Moonblast then? I mean, this is life for Moonblast, so I don't know. Moonblast's gonna come out into the Persian slot. Should pick up the knockout, I would imagine. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That was actually very solid. I did not think... I still fought Moonblast for the KO'd. Okay, Return is going to go out into Tapu Lele. How much damage does that do? Solid amount. Okay. I think I'll just Moonblast the Persian, and I think I'll Flare Blitz here. On what? The Parting Shot, maybe potentially the... Yeah, Foul Play. Shouldn't be doing too much. I don't have much attack investment. Yeah. Moonblast's going to come out into the Persian, which will be able to pick up the knockout, which is nice. Maybe I should... No, sub doesn't matter there. Sub doesn't help me at all. Only decreases my... because then my opponent could Parting Shot still. Flare Blitz is going to come out. I might have to go on this game off a crit. Potentially. Or I just do so much recoil to myself. Oh no. This is the last turn of taunt, maybe? I think this is the last turn of taunt. As return going to come out into the Tapu Lele. Let's see. If he has one more taunt turn, there's still a chance. Ah, now it comes down to whether I crit or not. Okay, let's see. Flare Blitz into Snorlax. And crit or no? Because if it doesn't crit, he recycles and wins the game. No, I'm not even sure crit would have done it. And Marowak just fainted anyway, so yeah, needed the crit there. But that's gonna be a good game to my opponent. I hate facing that kind of team because I've played it, I've used it before. It's solid. It's hard to break through if you don't have a good way to handle like if you don't have a good way to handle like Snorlax, Porygon 2s, the Mimikyu gets redirection, and also the fact that it's dual screens Coco on that team, so it's even harder to break through like Snorlax and Porygon 2 if you don't have a good way to handle it in the first place. I think, yeah, like you need like a Pokemon with like knockoff to help because it gets rid of Snorlax's berry, which is like crucial in that game. But yeah, unfortunately gonna be taking a loss for the last battle. My opponent played well and I felt like, I guess maybe, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have lost my Blastoise that turn. Maybe I should have tried to lose it on another turn, like Scald the Blastoise, maybe get the burn potentially instead of Water Spouting, because I could have Water Spouted next turn, potentially knocked out the Mimikyu there, and even lost my Blastoise, which would have been fine, or kept my Blastoise alive, and then I would have been able to get like a Psychic damage off into Snorlax, which would have been nice. Or maybe what I should have done was just Psychic hard into Snorlax turn 1 and then taunted. Maybe that would have worked better. But thank you all for tuning in today's episode of VGC 2018 Back to Battles. Hawlucha putting in some work in this episode, and hopefully it will put in some more work in the future episodes as well. You can check out my social medias down below as well, and you can check out a bunch of things on the channel, my side series, my team building guide for VGC 2018, which went up on Friday. And yeah, stay tuned for more of the Hawlucha team. Have a good day, people. I'll catch you around in another video.